I don't know about you, but I think Ninjago is a pretty cool show which has a lot of cool moments in it. And today we're going to be counting down the top 15 most badass Ninjago moments. But why? To find out which Ninjago character is the most Sigma. So without further ado, let's start with 15th place. So in 15th, we have Jay recharging the Hydro bounty in Seabound. So I know a lot of people will probably disagree that this deserves to be in the top 15 most badass Ninjago moments, but you have to remember the context. Going into this, Jay knew that it was going to be very dangerous for him to do it, but he did it anyway because he wanted the bounty to get back up and running so they could all go to save Nia. And just the scene in general and also the animation in this scene is really great. In 14th, we will also probably have a bit of a disagreement here, but it is Wu versus the Dragon Hunters in episode 8 of Hunted. So what I'm referring to is when all of the ninja were chained up to these poles and then Wu just jumps down, grows a mustache and takes on the Dragon Hunters all on his own while also getting his iconic staff and straw hat. And then he made a deal with the Baron, and I don't know about you, Teen Wu was pretty cool. In 13th, we have Nia's true potential, which almost didn't even make it onto this list. So obviously, her true potential is pretty important as it came at a time where all of the ninja basically gave up fighting the preeminent and then just decided to run away in the boat. But Nia single-handedly unlocked her true potential and created a massive wave which defeated the preeminent and saving everyone on that boat. It definitely deserves a spot on this list. And in 12th, we have one which you could argue deserves to be much higher up on this list, but the reason it isn't is because I don't feel that the scene really makes me go, oh, this guy is badass. But I just realized I haven't even mentioned what scene I am talking about. And I am talking about Cole unlocking his Binjitsu burst and defeating the Skull Sorcerer. I can't deny how cool it was when Cole got a hold of the Skull Sorcerer's mask and threw it to the ground, smashing it. It is obviously very cool, but I just think that compared to everything else remaining on this list, it is just a bit more cooler. 11th gives us the most recent moment on this list, being in episode 10 of Dragon's Rising Season 2. And I'm referring to Kai versus Cinder. Kai was just so good in this episode. Cinder, throughout the whole season, was basically unbeatable because of his Shadow Spin. But now that Kai unlocked Rising Dragon, he made light work of Cinder, and it even allowed Cinder to get up again every time before going in and embarrassing him again. It would have been a lot higher on this list if it didn't end with him getting trapped in Neverspace. In 10th, we have another Dragon's Rising mid-season finale moment, but this time from Season 1. I am talking about when Lloyd became conduit to the Source Dragon and he then received crazy powers which led him to be able to open the door to the second monastery, allowing everyone to be able to escape. It wasn't a very long scene, but it certainly looked cool nonetheless. Also, I just wanted to say that Lloyd single-handedly stopping the Mergequakes in episode 20 is also joining this on this spot. I just didn't want it to take up another spot since they are pretty similar in my personal opinion. In the number 9 spot, we have Wu fighting Crux and Acronix on the Iron of Doom. How could this not be on this list somewhere? From leaping out from the Iron of Doom and taking the reversal blade off of the Iron of Doom and then giving it to Kai and Nia before pushing them off, saving them from getting lost in time, and then making Wu 1v2 the Time Twins. As lackluster as Hands of Time was as a season, it did have a pretty good finale. In 8th, we have Zane's true potential. So, when Zane originally learned that he was a robot, he was distraught, obviously, and he needed some time alone. And during this time, the rest of the ninja were getting slapped by the tree horns, so when Zane ran out, he yelled, "Leave my friends alone!" He then spinjitsu'd all of the tree horns and took on the Queen tree horn, even freezing it. Zane easily had the most badass of the original true potentials. And in 7th, we have a moment from season 11, surprisingly, occurring in the last episode, I believe, where Kai regained his fire powers and attacked the Ice Dragon. for half of the episode prior, the ninja were getting demolished by the dragon, who even took down the land bounty, but the ninja thought they defeated it, but not long after, it got back up and started attacking them again. And it even flung back Kai all the way back to when he was a good character before season 11, which was very far, by the way. Anyway, the other ninja attack it, doing little damage, and Kai just gets fed up, stands up yelling, "No more!" And his eyes turn red, and he burns the ice dragon. What a Sigma moment. I am so sorry I just said that. In 6th is Lloyd's fight versus Garmadon in Hunted. I just think that Lloyd is just so cool in this scene. He goes up to the top of Borg Tower to fight his dad while he is without powers. He then fights him for a bit before realizing that if it is the fight that fuels him, then not fighting will unfuel him, I guess. So then he uses the silent fist technique that Garmadon taught him all the way back in season 3. And to put the cherry on top, he then unlocks his elemental powers again after Garmadon loses his. 5th place also includes Garmadon, but this time Garmadon is the badass one. And I'm talking about the season 1 finale, where he took revenge on the snake who basically ruined his life, the Great Devourer. And it is so cool how the sky turns black and purple when Garmadon starts to launch down onto the giant snake as well. In 4th, we have a fight from a season which very surprisingly doesn't have any other badass moments other than the one I'm just about to say, being Wu versus the Crystal King. At the start, we have a zoomed in shot of the Overlord's face with his theme playing. Then Wu comes up behind him and his theme takes over. He then takes on the Crystal King, giving him a challenge, even though Wu is on paper very weak compared to the Overlord. I mean, he has goddamn crystal powers. Wu even gives the Overlord a few brutal blows as well. Although the scene does end with Wu getting defeated as the Crystal King blasts Wu and he falls into a lake. Starting us off the top 3, we have Cinder demolishing the entire ninja team in the Cloud Kingdom. He literally 8v1 them and won very easily. He absolutely smoked them, no pun intended, with his shadow spin. Kai was the only one who seemed to be able to do anything at all to him, but he still didn't cause all that much damage to Cinder. And how can we forget that he catches Wildfire's leg in midair, breaking all kinds of physics, then throwing her, breaking her leg, leading the ninjas to retreat. In 2nd, we have got another bad guy, being Garmadon again, which is towards the end of Season 8, when he is fighting Lloyd in the prison. Garmadon does not care that he is hurting his own son at the start. They seem to be pretty evenly matched, but very quickly the tables turn to Garmadon's favour, and he absolutely annihilated Lloyd, smashing him through all kinds of different things, including like 2 or 3 walls at once, which caused Lloyd to lose his power. But in 1st, we have something that I've talked about a couple times on the channel recently, Zane's sacrifice. At the start, he asked the ninja to turn upside down to support him on his way to the humongous Overlord. He then touches the Golden Master's armor, which is supposed to instant kill him, but he survives, and he then blasts some ice at him, killing the Overlord and himself in the process, but Zane is still very cool here nonetheless. So that was my list of the most badass Ninjago moments. Let me know if there's anything that I missed or anything that was wrong with, and check this short video I made about what Ninjago could potentially have looked like if it wasn't made for kids. See you later, be ninja.